Great. We're live. Keely.
Hello.
Flower and Thyme.
Flower and Thyme. Here
Welcome
I am.
to the show.
Thank
yeah.
You. Thank you.
And how did I find out about you? I think I just saw your Instagram page, like Flower and Thyme, through, gosh, I don't know, like maybe
Just through Instagram.
Yeah,
the way that they put people out there.
Yeah, and then I was like, cool, Flower and Thyme, and then I saw you like baking shit, and then, and then I put it together that you were Kristen's daughter, and I was like, fuck, you gotta come on the pod, say what's up.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Well, hello.
Yeah.
Hello. So I was going to ask how you heard of me. I was wondering if you had heard of me from AceNet or if you had heard of me from the Cannabis People or if you had just seen me
It might have been AceNet that just mentioned, like, Reggie might have just been, like, started, like, bouncing off names, and then, like, it kind of, that was the first, like, thing. But, yeah, a lot of AceNet people have come through.
Yeah, so I originally started baking at AceNet, and that's kind of how I got started with my business itself. I have been baking for ever, essentially.
Yeah.
I baked all of my own birthday cakes since I was like 10 years old. I baked
Cool.
like all of my family's birthday cakes. When I was like 14 or 15, I had a farmer's market. My parents had a farmer's market booth,
Nice.
and I sold cupcakes there at farmer's market then, and then just went to high school and graduated from high school and just
Shout out to Athens.
Yeah, I went to Athens High School. And then I went to college for a semester and decided I didn't want to do that and just got a job as a line cook at Casa.
Nice.
And then I just kind of kept building my skills. I had been working at Village Bakery in high school.
Is that like everyone is over by Morrison? Village Bakery on State Street. Yeah, okay.
Was there a bakery over by Morrison?
I thought there was like a cupcake
there was
place.
Hold on. Heavenly Scented. They did cheesecakes.
Yeah,
They did cheesecakes, and they did cheesecakes at the Eclipse Company store, like the desserts there, and I used to work there also. That was another job that I had. But essentially, I just worked at a line cook jobs all around the town, and then went back to Village Bakery and asked to bake there, and they were like, yeah, sure. And that's when I started professionally baking, actually. And that was in 2018. I moved away to Colorado for a little while, and whenever I came back from that is when I really started.
Did you before you left Athens, did you think you were trapped here? What was your mindset like before you ever left Athens for the first time?
I definitely felt maybe a little trapped.
Were you running away from Athens, or were you running to Colorado, right?
I was running to opportunities.
Yeah, okay.
And so what the opportunity was in Colorado, which is not something that I have ever considered myself doing. I was a nanny to a infant baby, to a 4-month-old baby. And I myself have no desire to have kids, really.
Interesting.
And I wasn't ever the babysitter kind of person. And so it was really just off the wall that I chose to do that. And my friend of my friend had a baby, and they wanted an in-house nanny. And I was like, sure, I'll go do that.
Yeah, okay.
And I got there, and I was holding the baby, and I was like, this is the first time in 8 years that I've held a baby. But okay, this is my full-time job now.
Yeah.
And so I did that for about 6-8 months, and then just got really depressed, honestly, just staying in their house, just talking to the baby and my partner and the mom, essentially, and just couldn't handle it and had to come back to Athens.
Not much there other than that short list of things you just rattled off.
Yeah. And so where we lived right outside of Colorado, or right outside of Denver, in the Red Rocks area. And so we're outside enough of the city that there's it's not easy to get to the city.
Mm-hmm.
And so we just did a lot of hiking and stuff, and it's beautiful out there. And my best friend went to college out there at that same time, and I definitely would have probably had a shorter time there if they had not also been there.
Okay.
But then they also had to stop going to college and go back home and take a minute. And so once they left, I kind of was well, there's not really anything here for me. And the original plan was to go farther out west, and I'm from California originally.
No way, me too.
Nice. Where at?
I was born in Ventura.
Okay, I was born in Arcata.
Where's that
North,
geographically?
north,
yeah,
north.
okay. Ventura's an hour north of LA, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I moved here when I was 2, so
I
can
moved here when I was
say
2.
I was born there.
Exactly.
But all I know is Athens, Ohio.
Same. And
so you were planning on maybe going farther out west. You're in Denver, maybe just push it all the way back to the coast.
All the way. And I had some friends, or some friends of my parents or whatever who lived out there, and I was just gonna kind of go live with them and see if I can get a job, you know, doing whatever, trimming mostly.
Yeah.
And then I just decided that I needed to come home instead. And I definitely felt like when I left Athens, I was trying to get away from Athens. And when I came back to Athens, I was like, I had a newfound appreciation for Athens.
Yeah, it was like,
this is it. This is my place.
Well, it's like, too, like, there's no, before you leave, you've never left. Once you leave, you're kind of like, oh, it's that easy.
Yeah.
Like, I can just decide today and pick my shit up and whatever. Like, let me grab a couple T-shirts, whatever. You know, that, because I had very similar. Like, I left for a little bit, and then I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, not in my community. So very, very similar story. But so then you decided, like, even that, like, when you're coming back, like, did you feel any type of, like, insecurity about, like, coming back to, because, like, sometimes, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I definitely feel like I kind of, like, failed a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I had a really close group of friends in high school, and a lot of them moved away, and almost none of them live here now. And, like, all of them got away and stayed away. And so I feel like I kind of, like, failed in that sense. But also, like, I have such a fulfilling life here. So that I'm like, I didn't fail. I just moved into something different.
Fucking define it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And, like, I definitely like living in Athens. It's definitely my community. My partner is also from here. We're both from, like, Amesville, right outside of Athens. Cool. And just the difference between, like, driving around, like, on our little back roads in Colorado and, like, waving at our neighbors and, like, them not waving back and, like, waving to, you don't even have to wave to anyone here. You don't have to know them here. And they'll be, like, hanging out the window waving at you. And, like, we had Thanksgiving with these people in Colorado, and, like, they didn't wave at us when we saw them on the road. And, like, that's just, like, what the heck?
Yeah. Some people wouldn't even understand what you mean.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, I don't know. I definitely feel like this part of Ohio and probably this part of the country definitely goes above and beyond, and they're gesticulating out the window and their waves and stuff, but we're friendly.
Yeah. Okay, so you were in Colorado, you just came back, you were CASA, like, but then you started Village Bakery, like, professionally.
So I started Village Bakery professionally, and did a lot of my, like, baseline, like, I learned everything from there, kind of.
Yeah.
And then COVID happened.
Well, from who? Just other bakers there?
No, from myself.
Oh.
Like, Village Bakery is really, like, we had bakers, and the bakers, when they decided to retire, it was Megan McStevens of Pinkerton Bakery, and she did, like, wedding cakes and stuff. And she had 2 kids in, like, 2 years and decided to quit Village Bakery and then later on quit her baking business. So I worked under her for a little bit, and I worked under somebody else who had worked under her, but the person who had worked under her that I was training from was just somebody who was there in the moment. They weren't really invested in being a baker. They were a great baker, but that just wasn't what they wanted to do. So they just kind of taught me, like, trained me on the things that Village Bakery needed me to be trained on, and then everything else I learned myself.
Like, at what point did you realize, like, I'm taking this serious? Like, was it the Village Bakery thing, or, like, before that? Like, you said you've always been baking, right?
Yeah. I had always been baking, and then during COVID, we all got laid off. And so then I was just, like, home alone all the time, and I was getting COVID money.
Shout out.
Which was really nice. Some people did not get it, and I'm really sorry for those people, but I was getting it, and it allowed me to explore a lot of different just creative avenues because I had nothing else to do.
Yeah.
So everyone's probably like, oh, you invested all of your money into, like, your bakery business. No, I actually got really into resin art. And making resin art. So I spent a bunch of my money on that, and then was just kind of, like, just making elaborate dinners and stuff all of the time because I had all of this time. And we had a garden that year, and it was, like, the greatest garden we've ever had. And so, like, processing all of the food from that, freezing everything, canning everything, finding ways to cook with everything just really, really inspired me. And when we moved out of COVID times and we went back to Village Bakery, I was getting really, really inspired to, like, do things above and beyond what I was being asked to at Village. And that's kind of when I got the idea to, like, start my own company. So I started my own company in 2022.
Are you still working for Village at this time?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And I was just mostly doing, like, special order cakes. And Village doesn't do, like, cakes. They'll do, like, cupcakes, and they'll do, like, giant sheet cake slices. But as far as, like, full cakes go, there's not really anyone in town who does that. So I started doing that, and that's where I got, like, the bulk of my start from.
And this is just straight up like Instagram and Facebook, like just hey, if you know, hit me up if you need a cake.
Hit me up if you want a cake.
Exactly. Right, so then like what's the community response to that? Like, is it a cake every month? Is it like a big boom? And then
at the beginning it was definitely like a cake a month. I would do these like pastry boxes where I would make like a menu that would have like 4 different items in it, and it was like a set items, and you could order a box like once a month.
Nice.
And slowly that started picking up. Slowly I started getting more cake orders and stuff like that. And then I went from working at the Village Bakery, and they started having all kinds of problems, scheduling problems. My schedule wasn't matching with their schedule. The people that they were hiring, we were having a high turnover rate, and it was just, there was a lot of struggles. And
most businesses everywhere after COVID.
Exactly. And I felt like it was best for me, for their business, for me to step away. Because at that point, I was like, I had been there for so long. I was one of the more higher paid people there, and I just felt they could be doing something different with my paycheck.
Yeah.
And
that's very mature and responsible of you.
Yeah,
to, it was not want to just take advantage of.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah.
Well, they've been like, I've known Christine.
So, do you want to? I could clean this cup and get you some water.
Sure.
You keep
I
cup.
could take some water.
Yeah. Okay, let me just. Okay, we're back. So, yeah. Okay, so you're like, maybe I shouldn't be here anymore.
Yeah. So I just wanted to and give myself more creative time, because also at that point I was getting really burnt out on making like the same things every week, the chocolate chip cookies, the brownies, those same things.
So you weren't planning on getting like another job?
I was kind of planning on getting another job. I had talked to a couple of people, and I wanted a job that was just a few hours a week so I could focus on my other job.
Yeah.
And so I got a job with my old kitchen manager, Greg Erdhart from Kaiser's Barbecue.
Cool.
So I was the baker at Kaiser's Barbecue. What is there to bake at
a barbecue
place? Everyone's like, oh yeah, the buns. No, not at all. I made like this sheet cakes. They had Texas sheet cake there, and like some hand pies and some like biscuits, and mostly it was just like prep work, and it was just a paycheck.
Yeah.
And it was fine, and it was
low commitment.
Yeah, exactly.
Flexible.
And like that's what it was supposed to be, was low commitment.
Yeah.
And it was my friend and my old kitchen manager who knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
And so he was just there to help me along my way.
Yeah.
And so while I was there, I got a call from a friend of mine who was working at Parks Place in Amesville. I don't know if you're familiar with Parks Place. They had like a restaurant uptown also for a little while. But the owner of Parks Place never worked at a restaurant before. Like
they opened Parks Place?
Yeah, and so he like, not this person. Oh. I ended up leaving that job and going to work at this place called Parks Place.
Yeah, I see.
And they wanted me to be a kitchen manager there, like not like a bakery manager, but just like the line prep cook manager essentially, and be in charge of all of the prep and setting up the kitchen for the day and all of that. When I got there, I worked there for 3 days.
Oh.
And I ended up leaving halfway through my third shift, and I got into my car and I called the health department. I have never worked in a kitchen more disgusting in my entire life.
Okay.
There were live maggots on the line.
Is it still open?
No.
Okay.
No. It's not open for, like, personal reasons. Like, I believe the owners are getting divorced, and that's, like, what?
Allegedly, yes.
But they did not open back up after I worked there and after I called in. And it was literally just, like, I can't even begin to start to tell you. They had a turkey vulture that would eat the garbage that was, like, piled up by the back door, and it was so, like, normal that the back door would be like open to the kitchen, and they named the turkey vulture, and they'd just be like, oh, there he is. And I'm like,
that's a little
okay.
Yeah.
So I worked there for 3 days and then quit. And
now are you like, fuck it, I'm just gonna have to go Flour and Thyme? Or are you like, I gotta get another job again?
I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go Flour and Thyme. And that weekend, because this was like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then I was like, fuck it, this is what I'm gonna do. That weekend I got a email from Tim McKenna of Athens Bread Company, and he wanted me to come in and be a baker. And I was thinking at that point going and getting, like, purchasing a 2-week croissant course and learning how to make croissants. And then he was like, why don't you come work for me? And I was like, okay, I'll come work for you and learn how to make croissants and get paid for it versus paying someone to teach me. So I went and I did that, and it was everything that I wanted. I learned how to make croissants, and then at that time I was also, I had gotten in at AceNet, and I was working at AceNet doing flour and thyme and just kind of like building all of that up. And this was like November of, not last year, but the year before, so 2023.
Yeah.
And I had orders for Thanksgiving, and my Thanksgiving orders went really, really well. And I had just gotten, like, a grant through AceNet, and just everything was kind of lining up. I had a lot of money in the bank, in my business bank account. And then we got called in after Thanksgiving break, and they were like, well, we're going to lay all of you guys off.
This is AceNet?
This is Athens Bread Company.
Oh, ABC.
Yeah. And they were like, we're going to lay everyone off, and we're going to take, like, some time off, and that's it. Yeah,
you said McKenna, like Tim McKenna. I thought the Whiston Dolls were, like, owned ABC.
They did. They did, and, like...
Because we went to school with Devin.
Yeah. Hang on. Yeah, they did own it, and then... I think Tim's owned it for like 4 or 5 years, kind of around COVID time. I think maybe slightly after COVID time. Cool. He was working front of house there, and what's Devin's dad's name?
I don't know. Okay. Mr. Wistendahl?
Mr. Wistendahl. Just asked him if he wanted to buy it, and he said yes. One of the other people that was working there at the time was one of the people that hired me at Parks Place. So when I quit their job and went to go work for him, there was a little bit of tension. But
well, so then they lay you off, and this is, you said November 23?
Yes. And so that's like, weeks before Christmas. And at that point I was like, all right, fuck it. Everything is pointing in this one direction, and that's it. That's all I have then. So that's it. So I started working for myself full time November of 2023.
Huh. And then, like, fucking now, here we are. So November 23, you go full time. Are you, like, you're still just doing cakes? Are you still doing the pastry boxes? Like, did you start the farmer's market?
Pastry boxes at that point. I'm still at AceNet at that point.
Oh, okay.
So I was at AceNet, but I was quickly outgrowing AceNet for, like, the time. In cake baking, there's a lot of downtime. And so when you rent by the hour and you're just sitting there for a whole hour, it just kind of is like...
Fuck.
Exactly. So I was kind of starting to look for other locations that I could have more freedom. I could go in whenever I want. I'm not trying to work around other people. So I started talking to some friends, and I had a friend who had like it's not a gas station, it's like a carry-out convenience store down in Darwin.
Darwin, like
it's like halfway to Pomeroy, kind of like Rutland area, yeah. And so I went and I talked to her, and she was like, yeah, come on. They had already had a kitchen there, so it had already been certified for a kitchen one time, so it wouldn't be hard to certify it for a kitchen again. I had to get some equipment together. So I went and I did all that. I got my equipment. I got down there the day that we were supposed to, like, sign our lease, and started unloading equipment, and then we got into a little disagreement over, like, how things were going to get set up and, like, where things were going to go. And I was told that we didn't vibe. And this is, like, a friend of all 27 years of my life. So that kind of hurt.
Didn't they, like, welcome you in also? Like, is
yes,
that how,
they did welcome me in. And then they were like, no.
Yeah, so, okay. So then this doesn't work out.
So then I had all of this equipment. I had, like, tables and ovens and proofers. And I had to go put it in the Cannabis Museum's, like, extra storage shed that they have, because I lived out there also at the time. And then I was just kind of like, fuck, what am I going to do? So eventually my mom was talking to a neighborhood friend of ours in Amesville who used to make pie in town, And she was like, oh, yeah, there's this place in town that you can rent. It's like a certified kitchen space. And so I got the phone number from the girl, and contacted the guy, and he was like, yeah. And he met me for like 30 seconds the first time he met me, and just like handed me the key to the place and was just like, I'll sign that lease to you. So that's where I am at currently. It is behind the post office.
On Stimson?
It's post not office. On Stimson. So like the post office is on Stimson, and then there's some like apartments behind the post office. And there's like an apartment building, and there's like a small loading dock with blue double doors. Are you familiar with this?
Like a Kurt Street side?
It would be Hawking Street.
So
there's like Mill Street, and it's like the no outlet street that dead ends into the post office.
Yeah. Oh, I thought that was Kurt's. Whichever one it is. Yeah,
it's
called
Hawking.
Hawking Street. Yeah. Okay.
So it's like right there. It's the other apartments in my building are like livable apartments that people live in.
Okay.
And then just my place is a certified kitchen space.
Wicked.
And it's got like a 3-basin sink and an office and a bathroom and kitchen space. And so I've been there for a year now.
Just you? Like no one else? That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's really, really awesome. It's really awesome.
That's exciting. Yeah. And so cool. Like I don't know, you keep talking about like trials, like all of the hard things. Like what has gone well for you with Flower and Thyme?
Yeah. Starting a business, there's a lot of trials and tribulations. There's a lot of hard parts. The most rewarding thing is all this time is that I've started farmers market, and then I get to like actually interact with my customer base, because for a long time it was just like custom order, you order from me, you pick up, and that's it. And now I get to see people at market. I get to interact with them and talk to them.
Which, by the way, you had a fucking like I had to wait in line. Yeah. It's not often I have to wait in line for a farmer's market stand. And you were one of the booths I had to wait in line
you
for.
always have to wait.
That's fucking awesome. You always have
to wait in my line.
That's awesome.
Yeah, people are like, oh, what are you, like Avalanche, where everyone has to wait for you? And I'm like, yeah. But also part of that is like the way that I have my system set up, where it's just me, nothing's packaged. I'm making the boxes like as order. But that's also kind of part of the charm. That's what I like about it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. And I've been doing farmers market for like a year. I started last April, so I've been doing it for like a year and a half now. I do winter market. I plan on doing winter market again this year.
Cool. And you have this like pop-up Bloody Mary bar thing coming. What's up with that?
Yeah. So I'll be at Tony's this Sunday from 1 to 4 with Bloody Mary themed pastries, essentially. I love brunch. And
who doesn't? Who hates brunch?
Well, like in high school, when everyone was having like, we were all graduating and everyone had graduation parties, and everyone's trying to like time their graduation party, like, oh, I'm having mine on Friday, you have to have yours on Saturday, like this. I did mine like Sunday morning. It was a brunch party, and like everyone could come to it because it was like in the morning. And it was really, really great. I've had a birthday party that was brunch. I was gonna do my wedding that was brunch.
That's funny.
So yeah, I'm just making brunch pastries, and the bartenders are making Bloody Marys, and I'm good friends with like a lot of the people that go there, which is why I chose that location. And
so then what even kind of like sparked that? Like because you've never done anything like this before, like a pop-up?
Oh, you have? Actually, at Tony's again before. I did a Pie Day pop-up on Pie Day this past year, and I brought pies to Tony's, and then they made like pie-themed drinks as well to go along with it. But, like, some of my best friends work there, and a bunch of my, like, long-term family friends are regulars there. And that's just, that's my space. That's the space that I feel comfortable.
It's your crowd,
Yeah, exactly. And so I know that I'll always do really, really well there.
Good.
And I just wanted some more, like, something more than a farmer's market. I like themed things. I love themed parties. And so having a themed brunch pop-up or a themed pop-up at all is just like a fun idea for me.
Yeah. Well, so then like what does a week look like for you? Like if you've got like you have the farmers market thing coming up, like is your work like is it evenly spread out throughout the day? Is it all the work in 2 days sometimes? Like what
well, yeah, it depends on how lazy I want to be throughout the week and like how much I have going on in my own personal life. I can get everything done in 2 days. But that is like 2 full 12-hour days, and I'm really trying to work away from this. If you see me at farmer's market, you know that I've been up for hours at that point. I got 3 hours of sleep that night. Like, I went to farmer's market today, and because I go on Wednesdays to pick up all the produce and stuff for the weekend. And my market neighbor was there today. He comes only sometimes on Wednesdays, but he was there today, and he was like, "Oh my God, I've never seen you like well rested out in the wild." And I was like, "Oh God, that means I look rough." So mostly I have Sunday, Monday off, and then Tuesday, Wednesday I focus on baking all of the cakes for the week. So like if you order a cake and you have a custom order cake for like Thursday or Friday, I bake that on Tuesday or Wednesday. Mm-hmm. All of the cakes for Kindred get baked on Tuesday and Wednesday.
So you just have stuff up at Kindred?
Yeah, wow. Yeah. Well, if I can, I'm having a lot of problems right now with the tariffs. I am assuming. I have no idea. I order boxes through this company, and all of the boxes that I need are out of stock and have been out of stock for like months. And if I try to order them from another company, they're like 3 times as expensive.
Fuck. Yeah. What the
so I'm just kind of like, So I'm not sure what's up with that, but I've been having trouble getting stuff into Kindred weekly. But I should have things in Kindred Wednesday evenings is the goal. But that's kind of hit or miss recently. So I do that, and then Wednesday afternoons I make all the croissant dough for the week. Thursdays I shape up all the croissant, do all the laminations and shaping, and then Friday
lamination. What's laminating a croissant?
Is the technique that you do to encase the butter.
Oh, the folds. Folds.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it's called lamination.
Oh, okay.
So if you think about it, think about laminating a piece of paper. You're putting plastic in a piece of paper.
Oh, that makes sense.
You're doing the same thing with the butter.
And
then you fold it and fold it and fold it and fold it. So yeah, I do that on Thursdays, and then I shape them, and then Friday I proof them and bake them, and I make all of the other pastries for farmers market that aren't croissants on Fridays as well. So like all the cookies and brownies and all that stuff.
No, wow.
And then Saturday I wake up at about sometime between 2:30 and 4 in the morning. And then I'm trying to get better about this. I'm trying to put more things into my week, which is why I'm now scheduling my week like this. And so I can wake up probably closer to like 4:35 and then just go in and like put all the toppings and stuff on the croissants and get everything boxed up and ready to go.
Yeah.
And then I work until about noon at farmers market selling the stuff.
Do you ever like set up an actual shop on Wednesdays at the farmers? What is the Wednesday farmers market like way smaller? I feel like I've been maybe once or twice.
The Wednesday farmers market is way smaller.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's optional.
What do you mean optional?
Like you don't have to do it if you sign up for a Wednesday market.
Do you have to go Saturday?
No. I've never thought about it like that. I guess people could just go to Wednesday if they wanted to.
Yeah, okay.
But it's like you can sign up for Saturday, but you don't have to go on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
But I think that like the really staple people go on Wednesdays. Sarah's Sweets, like Tucker Family Farm, the like fudge and honey people, they go on Wednesdays.
That one like Old Man Sassafras Farms. I feel like he's every market every time. Yeah,
he's there. Kim and Larry from Cowdrey Farms. That guy who plays the guitar.
Steve? What is that?
No, that's Steve Zarati. No, this is a vendor. He sells beef. I think it's Shrew. Shrew Farms.
Do you mind squaring that mic up on your face? I keep looking at it. That's so much. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, you can opt like go or not go on Wednesdays. It's definitely way smaller, but it's definitely a lot of like cooks, chefs, and stuff go on Wednesdays to pick up produce for the week. So that's what I do.
Yeah, that's cool. How do you regulate your schedule? Like, because you're saying like you're trying this new thing. Like, what is it like being an entrepreneur, not having anyone tell you what to do? You know, you kind of hinted at it where it's like the scheduling and it's like you do all the work in 2 days. But like, how do you manage this?
I essentially know how long it takes me to do something, and when you work for yourself, I work by myself. I don't have any employees. It is just me, which makes it really, really easy and really, really hard. It makes it really hard to like want to go into work if I'm having like a lazy day or just an off day, and I just want to like talk to somebody or something that I don't have any coworker to like talk to. You can't
delegate.
Yeah, I can't delegate or anything like that. If I get sick, then I'm screwed. So I know how long it takes me to do something because I've had to take time off for injuries, for sickness, and get it all done in a certain amount of time. But it's also really nice because then I can just choose to go into work at 4 o'clock in the morning if I want to. And I'm a morning person. I'm really easily a morning person. Mm-hmm. I've woken up so early for such a long time that it's just like not a thing to me. I just wake up at 4, and that's just the time I wake up. But it's definitely hard, like, making myself go to work. And, like, you know, if I start my day too late in the day, then I'm just distracted and I'm off my game. And so if I start work at, like, noon, then I'm probably only going to work until 2 or 3, and that's it. And I only work until 2 or 3 most days, but I also start way earlier in the day.
That's because you mentioned, I am also, like, I'm having a great day if I'm done by 2 or 3. Again, doesn't matter if I started at 9 a.m., but, like, but out of kind of the morning person thing, like, after that sun has hit high noon, it's like, what am I doing, bro?
Yeah.
I got to go home.
Yeah, and I think that I've worked for, like, doing that thing for such a long time that, like, you know, there would be times that I was getting off at Village Bakery at, like, 9 a.m., 10 a.m., and I'm done with my day. I just worked a whole day, you know? And so then that makes it just really hard to, like, well, if you wake up early, then you have to go to sleep early. And so then that kind of sets my whole schedule for, like, my whole life. And so, like, I'm not a night person. I don't go out at night, really.
Heard that. Yeah, same. Yeah, homebody.
Yeah, definite homebody. And I live out in Coolville, so once we're, like, gone from town, we're gone.
Yeah,
like, we're not coming back.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's cool. What about, like, do you ever have, because, like, I guess, when I talk to people that have restaurants and stuff, they just kind of talk about how scary it is to, like, always be buying perishable items. It's like not 100% of your inventory. Right? You have, like, boxes and shit. What is that like managing that? Like, do you ever get in tight spots where it's like, fuck, I have all the shit and, like, it didn't sell? Like, I feel like you sell out a lot at the market and stuff, but, like, have you ever had these times where you just have all the shit and you're like, oh my God, what do I do with it?
So first of all, I am not interested in ever owning a restaurant because of the overhead cost that is associated with a restaurant, and it goes beyond just, like, perishable food things. I have a really bad problem about, like, when I go out to restaurants and I'm putting my food in a to-go box, I will, like, scrape my food off my plate and put my fork in my to-go box and take the fork home. Somebody has to pay for that.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't want to open a restaurant and deal with all of that. I don't want to deal with broken plates,
with
broken
employees,
cups,
right? Like,
all of these things. So I have really, like, downsized my business inventory based on that. So really I just have, like, boxes and cake boards that I use. And that's it. That's all I want to use.
Yeah.
But I've also worked doing the farmer's market long enough that I have kind of an idea of how much I'm going to sell. And so for the first couple of farmer's markets, I was definitely, like, overmaking, and I was coming home with a bunch of stuff. And, like, I have some, like, safeguards in place kind of to get rid of stuff. I'll take them, like, to my friends. I'll tell all my friends, like, this is what I have left over. It's discounted. Like, if anyone wants to buy stuff, like, let me know now. And that really gets rid of a lot of my stuff.
It's like, shit, at least you got something for it.
Exactly. And I mean, at a certain point, like, if it's, you know, day 3 and I still have, like, a bunch of something, I'll just start giving it away. I don't care. Yeah. I just want it out of my fridge mostly. So because of that, I have really, really, really done a lot of work on my PARs.
What does that mean?
PARs for the week, it's just, like, the amount of stuff that you're going to make for a week. So, like, I make 18.
PARs. Oh, like the bar.
The PAR, PAR, P-A-R.
Yeah. Like par on golf. It's like you did what you thought.
Yeah. So this is how many I think I need. This is how many I did. So I've done a lot of work with that.
Just trial and error?
Just recording, like, this is how much I made, this is how much I sold, this is how fast I sold it.
How do you track that? Like, just like you were writing this down?
Mostly that's just in my head, how fast I sell it, because I have really, really, really good memory.
Nice.
So when I'm, like, at farmer's market, I'll notice what gets sold out first. At the beginning of the month, I switch my menu around every month.
Oh, okay.
So at the beginning of the month, I make a dozen of every item. And so I'll see immediately what's selling fast and what's not selling.
Like in the first menu? Oh.
Yeah, and on that first week, I'll see what's selling. And so then the next week, I will adjust accordingly. So if I sold a bunch of one thing, then I'll make more of it. If I sold less of one thing, I'll just switch, take 4 from the other and put it into the other.
Yeah.
Because it's all the same dough. So I still make the same quantity of dough. I just make different shapes with all the different things.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then as far as, like, buying stuff goes, I'm really, really good about knowing my recipes and knowing how much product I need to fulfill those recipes, and then rotating things out at the end of the week. I take home anything that's been sitting in my fridge for, like, a week, like, tomatoes or zucchini or whatever, and I take it home and just eat it at home. Yeah. So Which I think in the grand scheme of things, when I'm going and doing like my taxes and like money management things, I probably have fucked myself over in that. But because if I'm buying stuff like with my business money and then taking it home and not using it, then it's essentially like a waste of my business money. But there's no way to like track that.
Yeah.
But I'm not throwing it out, so.
Yeah, no, I heard that.
So I don't feel like I'm wasting it.
Well, yeah, one of the reasons I was asking, it was like we had the 740 Rescue Kitchen on, and it's like, dude, prepared meals. Like, how do we get it to them, you know?
Yeah.
But, I mean, fucking definitely discount it and send it to your friends first.
Fuck. Yeah. Well, also just giving it to the donation station.
Yeah,
I can still put my stuff at the donation
CFI,
station.
shout out, yeah.
I'm not exactly, I haven't really sold, I rarely have anything left over.
Yeah.
So I haven't really done that yet. But I'm not really sure how that all works with like, because my things aren't individually packaged. They're just like, so I don't know if I can just be like, here's a pile of cookies.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that I could just talk to them and be like, what do I need to do so you guys could put this stuff out?
Definitely.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. The cake things too. You know, what was the compliment that my friend had? They were like, I like that they're real flowers, not like that pipe down shit. Yeah. How do you, I mean, is it like, are you just working with people and like taking a little bit of their advice of like, what do you want it to look like? Or are you just kind of like, here's what I've done before. Do you want something similar to, how do you like actually get a cake design out?
I have pretty strict cake design rules, actually. I don't do any custom cakes. Like, I don't do any character cakes.
I see.
So if you want like a Barbie cake, I am not your girl.
Yeah, okay.
If you wanted a
well, why is that? You just don't like doing that?
I actually don't have any skills. I'm totally self-taught in all of this respect. So like I recently had somebody ask me to do like buttercream flowers, and I was like, I've never done that. And they were like, what do you mean your cakes are covered in flowers? And I was like, oh, those are all real flowers.
Yeah.
And which I mean I thought that was pretty obvious from looking at it, but they thought they were all piped flowers.
Oh, that's amazing. They were so
That's
impressed.
Amazing, yeah. So I don't really do any traditional like Lambeth piping, which is like that really like vintage style over the top. I don't really do any of that. I don't really do the flowers. I refuse to make red velvet cake. I refuse to do writing on cakes. I refuse to do cookie dough or brownie batter just because there's like the contamination of raw flour, and I don't mess with that.
Yeah. Well, it's like good that you kind of know. Did it take time to figure this out? Did you try doing Barbie cakes and
it
shit?
It took a little bit of time, but based on what so like in my entire career, I have never worked at a fast food restaurant.
Okay.
I have always worked at a local restaurant.
Yeah.
With the base of my baking being at Village Bakery. So at Village Bakery, we weren't even using like food coloring. So I don't use chemical food coloring or chemical like artificial food coloring or flavors in any of my cakes. So it makes it really hard to achieve some really bright colors if you're using like spirulina and butterfly pea flour. So there's that. I also don't work with fondant. Which is what a lot of the like cakes are. Yeah,
cake boss shit. Yeah.
Which is like not cake, and that's.
I actually don't like the taste of it. It's weird.
Bad. It's weird.
Yeah,
it's like,
I'm not for it.
It's weird. It tastes like gum that has been like left out, like stale gum. Yeah, I'm not about it. So then that really kind of limits what I can do.
I mean, like, do your customers know, how often are you turning people away because they're like, oh fuck, I thought you were gonna make a dinosaur cake for me, or do you, like, To book a cake with me, you have to look through my website. And when you look through my website, you can kind of get a feel of what I do. And you're kind of like, I don't see anything on the website that I'm wanting. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. And so then I also have, like, people that I recommend people to. When people are like, hey, can I have a dinosaur cake? I'm like, no, but this person... Who are your recommendations of people to go to? There is a person named... I don't know if her name's Angel or Angela, but it's Angel Cakes and Cookies. And then there is, like, a friend of a friend that I know also. Cool. What's her name? I can remember her last name. Estep is her last name. I don't know. But I have two people that I recommend people to. And then a lot of the time, I'm just trying to figure out, like right now, I'm working with this person who wants, like, a Barbie princess cake. And can't do that, but I can make a pink cake with flowers on it, and then you can go get a little caricature, and I can, leave space, and, like, we can work it out like that. So that's kind of what I do. But for the most part, I say it on my website, I do hold all full creative Control. Like, you're not going to tell me anything.
Yeah.
That's so baller. You're so fucking awesome. Fuck yeah, dude.
I'll take your, like, you know, recommendations into consideration. Like, if you don't want something on your cake, obviously I won't put it on there. But as far as the design goes, I just go for it, is what I'm thinking. And then everyone's like, oh, do you, like, draw it out? Do you plan it ahead of time? And, like, no.
Yeah.
I just kind of go for it. I have, like, you know, I'll get out all my piping tips, and I'll figure out what piping tips I want, and I'll get out all my flowers, and I'll figure out the color scheme, and then I'll just kind of go from there.
Where do you get your flowers from? From the market?
I get my flowers from market. I get my flowers from Attican Farms. I get my flowers from Fred's Flowers.
Yeah.
And I get my flowers from Holding Joy Farms.
Nice.
As well as my own garden.
Cool.
Yeah. And then before I was ever a baker, I was going to be an herbalist. So I have, like, a very large background in, like, foraging and wildcrafting. So I do a lot of just, like, foraging and finding edible flowers as well.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, outside of flowering time, like, what's up? So, you said you're a homebody. You got a garden.
Yeah. We don't actually have a garden this year. We just have, so we moved last year, and we live, like, I don't know, 100 yards from the river.
That's what's up?
It's something.
You don't like it?
We've had nonstop rain.
Oh.
We had to cancel our 4th of July party because it flooded.
Fuck.
Like,
okay, that's...
there has never been so much water in a summer in my life here.
Yeah, I don't think
And it's also the summer that I live on the river. So we have a boat. We can't use it ever because it's raining all the time.
Damn.
We had to, like, get our chickens out of their chicken coop, and, like, they were living in our basement for a couple of months because it kept flooding. And then we finally moved them back, and they got eaten by a raccoon.
Oh, my goodness.
And then we have, like, a forever pond in the middle of our yard.
What's a forever pond?
It's like a puddle. We call it an icky depression.
Okay.
It's just, like, this giant puddle that won't go away, and it's full of, like, mosquitoes and tadpoles.
We have one of those, like, salamanders and shit. Yeah.
And, well, we're not supposed to have it, and it's just, it's full of mosquitoes mostly.
Yeah, I don't think we are either, yeah.
So we don't really want to go outside ever, and so it's kind of, like, sucky, but we have, like, a bunch of plants on our back porch, and we're just doing, like, a potted garden.
Cool.
Porch garden this year. And, I'm starting to get tomatoes, and I have a couple strawberry plants I'm getting strawberries off of.
Nice.
Basil. I think that's pretty much it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, so then I guess, like, kind of to bring it home, how can the community support you? Obviously, come buy your shit, right? Check out your website. Come to Tony's on Sunday.
Yeah.
Like, what are some, like, unique ways they can help?
So some other things that I'm doing I do farmers market every Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing the Bloody Mary bar at Tony's this Sunday from 1 to 4. August 22nd and 23rd, I will be at Central Venue with the Prince Pots and Plants sale.
Okay.
As well as at Farmers Market.
That's right when school starts, too.
That's right when school starts, yeah. I think it's move-in weekend that weekend.
Cool.
And then I will be doing some cake decorating classes here coming up.
Where are you going to do those?
I'm doing one at the Cannabis Museum. It's going to be a 420-friendly cake decorating class. So we'll... everything will be provided.
What is the day and time of that?
It's to be decided still, but I'm thinking sometime mid-August or either right before or right after move-in.
Cool.
I'm thinking it might be fun for college students to come.
Yeah.
But also you have to be 21, so I don't know.
Dude, there's a lot of 21-year-olds.
That's fair. Yeah. That's fair. So yeah, doing it there, and I've done one there before, and that was really fun. And it's we have, like, smoke breaks in the middle of it, and so it's fun. And then I'm going to host one at my kitchen, and then that's also just, like, kind of an open house, so you can come and see my space.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's wicked.
Yeah.
Well, recurring invite, dude. Like, you have some, like, events coming up. Even if you want to come back, and talk about the Tony's thing, or you want to come talk about the cake thing before it happens, like, recurring invite, this is awesome. You're such a badass. I really appreciate your just kind of, like, self-awareness of, like, this is what I like. This is what I don't like. This is what's going to work for me. This is what's not. Like,
I'm an
it's
Aries.
Okay. What does that mean? I don't know.
I'm an Aries.
I know it's your sign.
Yeah. I'm just very opinionated. I know that I'm right. I'm going to do everything that I can do to make my dream come true. And I'm very, like, about about my business. Ashley Wines is also an Aries.
Yeah. Okay.
So I feel like we both have that same quality where we're going to put our business above anything else.
Yeah. No, it's really cool. It's awesome to see. Like, it's cool to also just hear about your resiliency of like these whatever side job, like fuck it. And then just at one point just kind of being like, you know what, this is it. I'm going to go for Flower Time.
I've gone and done so many things, and I've always come back to this thing my whole life. I've always liked baking. I've always liked cooking. And if you had asked me coming out of high school if this is what I was going to be, I would have been like, no. But here I am. So,
yeah. That's wicked. Keely, Flower Time. Yeah. Really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
I appreciate it. Thank you.